Hello, my name is Caiti Steele and I'm the coordinator of the USDA Southwest Climate Hub. In this video short, I'll introduce you to the Drought Learning Network and I'll give you a little background about how it came about. With 4 deserts and the Colorado Plateau within its boundaries, most of the Southwest Hub mainland region is classified as semi-arid to arid. Of course, the region is no stranger to dryness. But drought is an ever-present threat to water resources, forests and rangelands, to agriculture, and to the health and economic well-being of rural and urban communities. In 2018, exceptional drought persisted over the Four Corners region. Water sources dried up, crops failed, forests burned, rangeland conditions deteriorated, livestock died from lack of water. During this time, we witnessed not only the devastating impacts on tribal and other communities, but also the extraordinary responses that were possible when people collaborated in finding solutions. It was this devastating drought that inspired the Southwest Climate Hub, the National Drought Mitigation Center, and the National Integrated Drought Information System to create the Drought Learning Network. An important goal of the Drought Learning Network is to retain management lessons learned during previous droughts, helping managers share their successes and challenges in planning for, responding to and recovering from drought. In January 2020, the founding team surveyed 60 natural resource managers in the Southwest. 95% of those responding were interested or very interested in accessing information about best practices learned by other resource managers during drought. Another important goal of the Drought Learning Network is about fostering knowledge exchange between natural resource managers and climate service providers. When we know what questions people are trying to answer and what data or information they need for decision making, when we know which information sources they trust and how they prefer to access information, then we can make sure we provide what they need for anticipating and preparing for drought, for managing through a drought, and for recovering from drought. On the flip side, we also know that numerical data sets don't always tell the whole story about drought. The flow of information from stakeholders to climate service providers about drought impacts is just as important, especially when it comes to the weekly drought monitor maps. To date, the Drought Learning Network includes 67 climate service providers and resource managers. Members belong to one or more of 6 teams within the network that focus on the various objectives identified in the kickoff workshop we had back in February, or even since then as the 2020 drought has grown in severity. The Case Studies team are building a database of case studies and best practices to support peer-to-peer learning. They have 8 case studies underway, and these will be posted on the Collaborative Conservation and Adaptation Strategy Toolbox website. The Beginning Farmers and Ranchers team have been partnering with the Quivira Coalition on the new agrarian program, and they've hosted workshops on drought tools and planning. There's a team developing weather and climate resources for tribes, and they are supporting peer-to-peer learning via weather condition webinars. The Projections to People team are on a fact-finding mission right now. They're asking who uses drought, weather and climate products, and if they're not using them, why not? We want to make sure that those who need these kinds of products have easy access to them, and most importantly, find the information relevant and easy to interpret. The Eastern New Mexico team are all about responding to the current drought. They've hosted 3 webinars about drought and soil health for farmers and ranchers in eastern New Mexico and neighboring states. The team working on enhancing drought response in Utah have an online workshop planned for December 4th this year, which is intended to engage natural resource managers in reporting drought impacts to the Utah Drought Task Force. While we can count webinars and meetings and people attending, a more intangible outcome of the Drought Learning Network has been the sense of community that continues to grow amongst members who were not so well connected before. Our next steps with the network are to continue to foster its collaborative ethic. There's no doubt that being connected and sharing the load of leadership has helped us as a diverse group to develop resources and share information that might otherwise have remained siloed in our own organisations. Our initial teams will continue to work on their projects, but we do anticipate more teams and working groups emerging as membership grows and other needs are identified. We hold quarterly online meetings and hope for an annual in-person meeting when travel and meeting in large groups becomes possible again. For more information and to join the Drought Learning Network, please contact me, Caiti Steele, Caiti@nmsu.edu. Thank you.